Okay, hello again, class. This is Mrs. Lamphere, and we are looking at the Colors website assignment in Section 4, Part E for this video. So the first step says to create a folder called Colors inside your Unit 2 folder to house the Colors activity before beginning the activity. All right, so inside your Unit 2 folder, you should create a new folder called Colors. I already have it in there, but in case you don't, go to right-click and go to New Folder and name it Colors. And that's where we're going to kind of put everything for this website we're going to create. So note when making a web page, all folders and file names, the underscore is a punctuation mark, just to kind of, I guess, throw that in there. Add a folder inside of your Unit 2 Colors folder named Images. So inside your Colors folder, you should have another folder called Images. So again, right-click, New Folder, Images to create that one. Decide what your favorite color is. So take a minute. Got it? Good. Get a digital camera and take pictures of several items or scenes around your home that you can find that is a shade of your favorite color. Now, don't get all stressed out because of this little and or sign. You're off the hook of actually having to do that, but I do encourage it because I did it myself for this assignment and it was actually pretty fun. So if you have a digital camera and you can find different objects around your house to take some pictures, that would be great. Or you can search the web for free pictures. Notice if you use images from the internet, you must include you must kind of keep a list of the web addresses that you use because we need to cite those sources then. So to kind of show you where my images are at, okay, so I opened up my photo gallery that I have on my computer, and I went around my house and I chose the color blue, so I took pictures of all the different blue images that I could find around my house. And then I used a photo gallery to edit those pictures and to make them all the same size. So what I did is I used the crop tool, and I think I went down to, I used square, and I just, I cropped all these images so that they'd be the exact same size. You can kind of I'm not sure what photo editing program you guys have. You should have something. But so even if you take an image off the internet, you're going to want to size them down so that they're all the same size. Or you can kind of do that. You can change the sizes in your code as well, but as you read in the text, it's better to have them sized beforehand. So you want to size your pictures so that they're about 200 by 200 pixels, and they're saved as JPEGs. So again, either you should be taking pictures of your own or finding images on the internet. And but if you do find them off the internet, you're going to have to cite your sources. Also make sure there are no spaces in the file names of the graphics. Save the images in your Unit 2 Colors image folder. So let me show you what that looks like. So I'm in my Unit 2 Colors images folder, and I have all of my images saved as lowercase, and if there's any space in the name, I used an underscore. So all lowercase images and any spaces have the underscore. Okay, so think of as many different hues or shades of your favorite color as you can. Open the Colors web page to see an example. So this is an example that your text made. They are demonstrating obviously the color green. Very cool. So then she found all these different shades of green that she put off to the side with their names and their colors. So you're going to want to use this color chart to do the same kind of thing. So I'm doing blue, so I'm going to go through and find a whole bunch of different shades of blue and write down their actual names and their codes and work them into our website. So write down the name and codes of the colors that you choose. So you're going to want to choose, I think you need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different colors that are a variety of the shade of color that you're choosing. Open the color web page, view the HTML code by going to View Page Source in the menu bar. So mine is a little different. If you're using Firefox, which I am, I need to hit function F10 in order to get my menu bar to show up. So function F10 gets your menu bar, and then in order for me to view the source code, I need to go to Tools, Web Developer, then down to Page Source, and this brings up the source code for you. So the next step in our directions, we got the HTML code, so now under Edit we're going to select all and then copy the code. So a shortcut is Control-A, Control-C, open up a new notepad, and Control-V. So that puts all of our source code into a notepad, so now we can kind of make some edits. Okay, so the next step is to make changes in the code by defining your CSS styles and substituting your picture names and style selections. So there are some hints in the code to help you. You should name the styles according to their color. Don't just use the same style names shown. So in this code, you can see, let's go all the way up to the top where they have their styles. So this is where they have their style names and the different attributes to each style. So her line style is of the Arial font, 24 pixels, bold, and this lime green color. So when we're looking at her website, she applied the style lime to the lime text. Let's go back to the notepad. So there's all of the style attributes. The style's called lime. And then down here to the body of her text, you can see that she applied the style line to the text line, and that's what we see on the web page. So what you're going to want to do is replace all these different style colors with your own colors. So for instance, I'm doing blue. So let me go, I go to my color sheet. Maybe the first one I want to use is midnight blue. So I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to go back to the style. I'm going to replace her lime, and I'm going to call this midnight blue. And I'm going to replace her color code with the midnight blue code. And let me figure out, we're supposed to save this as, save the new page in your Unit 2 colors folder as index.html. So I'm going to go File, Save As, Unit 2 colors, and this is going to be called index. I'm going to call it index2.html because I've already done this assignment and I don't want it to duplicate it. So now I'm going to go in and view what I've got so far. So far I've only changed the lime color attribute, and you'll notice that none of these pictures are coming through because I don't have her original files. Okay, so when they gave you the code, they didn't include all of the links to all these different images, so their images are not going to show up on our code. So let's go back, and we see that lime color, or the midnight blue color, didn't take effect because, so I changed this to midnight blue. Now I have to go apply it down to where they applied their lime style. I'm going to apply midnight blue, and I want this to say midnight blue. That's the text that I want to appear. So File, Save. Let's go back and check that out. There we go. So now we see my midnight blue style was applied in place of that lime style. Okay, so you're going to want to go through and change all of these different styles with colors of your choosing. So again, I chose blue, so I used midnight blue. Now maybe I go back here, maybe I want to use cornflower blue, so I'm going to replace, the next color she uses is chartreuse. So I'm going to replace chartreuse with cornflower blue. I'm going to copy this code and paste it in place of their color code. And then I'm also going to go down, so that was the chartreuse one that I just changed. So I'm going to replace chartreuse with cornflower blue. And again, cornflower blue. File, save. Let's preview it. And the next one's changed. So again, that's what your task is for now, is to go through and change the rest of these color styles to the color, to different shades of the color that you chose for your website. Okay, so I went ahead and changed all of my styles that were colors of green. I went ahead and changed them to blues. So let's go ahead and preview what we've got. So what I did wrong already is I forgot to then copy those different styles down here. So you can see down in the body of the website, I forgot to apply all those different styles. So I'm going to take a second and finish that. Okay, so I've got those applied. Let's see if that looks a little better here. Okay, there we go. So I got all my colors filled in, and the names of my colors off to the side. So now you'll see I have this one in the middle still that says green. So that is going to be, so I'm going to replace that with, I'm going to call title blue. And again, I'm going to want to go find a nice blue color that I want applied to that title. So this is going to go in the middle of this table, in the middle of all my pictures. Now I got to go find where that was being applied in the table here. So I'm looking through this table. All right, and here I can see I have this green in plain text here, and they used title green. So I'm going to change that to title blue now, and change the word green to blue. Save that and check it out. There we go. So now I have my blue title replaced in there as well. Okay, the next thing we're going to want to change is, let's change that green background color. So I'm going to go up to and find their background color. They use green, and I'm going to go back to my color document here and change it to blue. Actually, I'm kind of cheating because I already have the blue color picked out that I want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that on top of what their background color is. So I can go ahead and file, save. Let's view it. So that should change my background color to this nice shade of blue. Oh, and I'm going to kind of close some of these past windows that I'm not dealing with anymore. And I still have my title on the tab is showing up greener than green. So let's go ahead and change that as well. So in my code, I find their title. They call it greener than green. So I'm going to be pretty clever here and say bluer than blue. File, save. And also while I'm in here, let's see. Let's go ahead and change out some of those pictures. So you should have your pictures saved in your images folder, and we're going to now replace their pictures with our pictures. So I'm going to have my folder opened up here so I know exactly what they're named. All right, and I really don't care about what order these pictures show up in, but I just kind of have to get their names replaced. So here's my first line of image source code. So they're going into the images folder, which I can keep that the same because I have the same, my folder's named the same, images folder. But instead of blanket JPEG, I'm going to use frame1 JPEG. And I think these are JPEGs. I better double check. I have JPEG images. So it's going to replace their image with my frame1 image, and then their bottle image I'm going to replace with frame2.jpg. So go through and replace all of their images with the images that you have saved in your image folder. And another thing we're going to want to change too is this alternative text. So you read about this in the textbook about alternative text. So if the image doesn't come through, what text is going to show up? Or if someone mouses over your image, what text will appear? This kind of complies with the ADA Act, so like our website being more accessible for any user. That's why we put that alternative text in there. So I might put my alternative text as picture frame 1. Oops. Oh, and notice this too. I misspelled frame, so that link would not have worked. So I need to make sure that I have that spelled exactly like my file name is. And then I might call this picture frame 2. And let's just kind of see what that looks like so far. Go back to my index2 file, because I named mine index2. And yep, you can see it's already starting to grab my images, so it's working out well. So now you go ahead and finish replacing all of these image sources with your own images. So you have these columns up here that you're replacing, and then there's some more down here. So make sure you're replacing all the image source files with your own images. Okay, so go ahead and do that on your own. Okay, so I have all my images replaced with my own images. So let's go ahead and file, save, and see what that looks like as an HTML. Oh, pretty. So there are all my pictures coming through with my little blue theme. I have my blue shades off to the side, and looks pretty cool. Looking back at your instructions, make changes, make sure you view it in the web browser. So again, I have my title up here, bluer than blue, showing up. And if you're having any issues, I almost guarantee what's gonna go wrong is either you're naming the name of your image doesn't match what you're typing in. So make sure that if you're using JPEG files, you're typing the file extension JPG. If it's a PNG file, you're typing in PNG. GIF file, same thing. So make sure you have the right file type, make sure you have the right name of the image. Really kind of comb through your code to make sure everything looks correct. And going back to our instructions, so you're going to want to zip this colors folder. So inside your Unit 2 folder, you're going to zip your colors folder, and you're going to submit your zipped colors folder to the Dropbox.